Years ago, hunting wasn't just a pastime, it was a matter of survival. Our journey begins deep in the forests of Africa, where wild boars have long been a prized catch. One hunting method that builds strength while providing boar meat is bow and arrow hunting. These bows and arrows are often made from natural materials like rocks. The next step involves tracking the areas where wild boars are known to appear and hunting them down. Dogs have always been hunters' greatest companions in these precious hunts. In some cultures, hunters would dig deep holes, covering them with branches and leaves. Unsuspecting boars would fall into these pits, where they would be speared or captured. Wild boar populations have always surged rapidly, thanks to their adaptability and higher reproductive rate. Another method that doesn't require a horse but demands a lot of patience is waiting by the tree. The hunter will approach the area where the wild boars often visit, scatter food, and then climb a tree to wait like this. Oh, there's quite a selection for him, as around 8 large wild boars are gathering below. The spear is thrown and he scores a hit. If this was you, do you think you could hit one? Armed with just a knife and a 4-meter rope, we're ready for wild boar hunting. This hunter observes the area where boars frequently roam. Next, he selects a tree that can be bent to set up a trap. Then he ties the rope into a loop with a 20-centimeter diameter. Corn, the boar's favorite food, is scattered inside the loop trap. As the boar searches for food and gets caught in the rope, it tightens around the animal. Each trap, like this, can catch around 1 boar at a time, but it's reusable and very cost-effective. This rope can bear a heavy load, allowing it to capture boars weighing up to 200 to 300 kilograms. Although sometimes it only catches young, light boars. Boars are particularly cunning, strong, and can be dangerous when cornered. A herd of around a dozen boars is out foraging, and the hunter needs to only pick the nearest target, and thud! He has taken one down with his simple tool, a sharp-tipped spear. With this method, the hunter can choose which boar to hunt. But of course, he needs a horse to keep up with them because wild boars can reach speeds of up to 50 kilometers an hour. Bison are some of the largest land animals still living in Northern America today, with males standing around 2 meters tall and weighing close to a ton. These massive creatures were central to the lives of many Native American tribes, providing not only food but materials for clothing, shelter, and tools. Though not the hardest animals to hunt, bison are certainly amongst the toughest to bring down, as they can withstand multiple shots from high-powered rifles and remain standing for up to 30 minutes. In the past, the hunt for bison was often conducted using a technique known as the buffalo jump. Hunters would drive a herd towards a cliff, using noise, fire, or even horses to create panic. As the bison ran, they would be forced over the edge of the cliff, falling to their deaths or being severely injured. The tribe would then move in to harvest the meat and hides. In other regions, these hunters only needed 2-meter long spear like this in order to hunt buffalo. First, a group of around 5 hunters will survey the area to track the movement of the buffalo herd. When the buffaloes are off guard, the hunter quickly throws a spear down near its legs to hinder movement and gradually wear it down. Even after being wounded, it could take 2 to 3 hours for the animal to lose its ability to defend itself. Some seasoned hunters will coat their spears with a paralyzing poison to shorten the hunting time. Next, we journey to the swamps and rivers of Africa and the Americas, where the waters teem with alligators and crocodiles. Some can even reach 1,700 pounds. These reptiles, with their tough hides and powerful jaws, are formidable prey even for the modern hunter. But ancient hunters developed ingenious methods to catch them. One such method is the ambush. Hunters would carefully study the habits of these reptiles, learning when and where they like to bask in the sun or swim in the shallow waters. Armed with nothing but a sharpened spear or harpoon, the hunter would wait, sometimes for hours, until the perfect moment presented itself. When the alligator or crocodile was close enough, the hunter would strike with precision, aiming for the vulnerable areas around the eyes or underbelly. Hunters would construct a huge baited trap along the banks of the river, hoping to catch the creature by its powerful jaws or legs. Once trapped, the animal's struggle would alert the hunter, who would then finish the job with a spear or knife. These methods require not only physical strength, but also immense courage and skill, as a single misstep could easily turn the hunter into the hunted. Now let's shift our focus to a smaller but no less challenging prey, the rabbit. Found across Europe, Asia, and the Americas, rabbits have long been hunted for their meat and fur. Given their size and speed, primitive hunters needed to be clever in their approach. The snare is one of the oldest and most effective methods used to catch rabbits. Made from materials like plant fibers or animal sinew, these simple traps were set along well-worn rabbit paths. The loop of the snare would tighten as the rabbit passed through, catching it by the neck or leg. Hunters would set multiple snares at once, checking them periodically in order to collect their catch. This method requires a deep knowledge of the rabbit's habits and an ability to predict their movements. Another technique involved driving rabbits into nets with the help of a ferret. A group of hunters and ferrets would create a ruckus, flushing the rabbits out of their burrows and into strategically placed nets. This communal effort was both effective and efficient, often resulting in a large haul of rabbits that could feed an entire village. Moving north, we enter the dense forests of North Africa, where deer have always been an essential food source for the indigenous tribes. Deer hunting is also commonly practiced in the grasslands of Africa, like this. After the harvest season, men take on the primary role of hunting wild animals. Wild deer are most active during the fall, so on a good day, this group of hunters can catch up to 5 deer. Each deer could weigh up to 200 kilograms. Primitive hunters often employed a method known as stalking. The primary hunting tools are self-made bows and arrows. The hunter's arrows are usually perfectly straight. The most important part is that the arrowhead used for hunting deer is carefully crafted, with a gradually thickening sharp point to ensure it doesn't fall out after piercing the animal. Notably, the arrowheads are coated with a deadly poison for mammals made with a sleeping pupa mixed with orange water, or another fatal cardiac poison made from the seeds of a shanjoko. However, since fall is also the mating season for deer, the hunters will only target a limited number of male deer. A tense battle is going on. Wild animals are encroaching on agricultural areas and causing conflicts with humans. American farmers and hunters must stop millions of wild animals to protect their farms. Alligator encounters appear to be on the rise in the US. thousands of alarm calls were made. Each year, American farmers must prevent attacks from around 10,000 alligators. They can drift into the city, affecting sports and entertainment activities. They even enter areas where people live and can affect their homes. Casualty incidents continue to occur. An 85-year-old woman was attacked and killed just last year. Serious attacks have caused great concern as they have entered the cities to stop the invasion. In some states, the US have deployed guns to deal with this menace. This is considered an urgent solution to deal with the continuing attacks. Hunting is carried out in swampy areas around cities to ensure maximum safety for people. When applying this measure, the number of reptiles decreases by 75%. On average, after each hunting trip, hunters can take down creatures weighing 300 to 500 pounds. Studies show that alligators often hide in areas near riverbanks and they like to lie under the shade of trees. Based on this data, farmers can shorten the time to search for the creatures. Before the invasion, few hunters were willing to risk exterminating these fierce animals. This has just spurred them on to become bigger and hungrier than ever. As they are at the top of the food chain, no other predator can attack them, other than humans. But they are losing their fear of us. This makes everything in the hunt even more unpredictable. During hunting in Florida, hunters face the harsh conditions of swamp environments. The dense foliage that provides places for alligators to hide also limits hunters' visibility. Hunters must be alert and sensitive to detect the alligators' whereabouts before they flee or attack. The hunters use raw meat as bait to catch their prey. After that, the hunter begins to approach creating favorable conditions for accurate shooting. Shooting them in the brain will kill them the fastest, but when fighting an aggressive predator, it is difficult to shoot accurately. Therefore, farmers must undergo a 6-month training process. Alligator hunting season in Florida usually takes place from August until November each year. This is an opportunity for those who love adventure and want to try their hand at hunting. But it is also important in managing the wild populations. However, FWC regulations and guidelines must be strictly followed. To hunt alligators in Florida, you need a valid hunting license. Binoculars will help the hunters observe and accurately identify alligator heads from a distance, thereby creating a chance of success and reducing the risks for hunters. In ideal conditions, using a hunting rifle from a distance of 30 to 50 meters is the optimal choice to ensure effectiveness and safety when dealing with these creatures. Hunting alligators during the day gives hunters an observational advantage. Hunters have clear vision, and this helps them to find small movements on the water's surface. Although hunting alligators is necessary to control their population, it helps to protect the safety of people and other animals from this threat. But alligators play an important role in maintaining biodiversity and the ecosystem they live in. They are an integral part of the food chain and clean the environment up by their hunting. America is witnessing a notable presence of wild boars over the past few decades. Wild boars have stormed into Louisiana. They appeared everywhere and left behind damage and destruction. These cases are increasing, and the state government has had to come up with countermeasures. Wild boars have coarse fur, small eyes, large teeth connected to strong jaws. These invasive wild boars can bring a lot of trouble. Their presence in the area has deprived native species of food sources. Deer are one of the species that must leave an area when the wild boars arrive. Conflicts between humans and wildlife have been reported from around the world. A typical example is the tense relationship between the American people and wild boars. The heads of states are forced to take measures to limit their encroachment. Some states allow hunting of feral hogs from helicopters. With their speed, flying ability, and altitude, hunters are required to have a great technique. Wild boars run very fast, and they cause much chaos. Hunters must aim accurately and shoot them quickly to take them down. Hunting is mainly done in the evening and lasts until early morning. Hunters use different methods to lure the wild boars. Oak sap is spread on the trees and it attracts the wild boars who like to rub on them. In addition, some tools, such as simulated sound generators, are also used to increase the likelihood of a successful hunt. Battles with wild animals always bring excitement and drama. Farmers actively search based on the sounds emitted when the wild boars move. Depending on speed and accuracy, experienced hunters can hunt several wild boars in just a few seconds. The hunter spotted a pig ahead. He gently took aim and killed it neatly. Each shot must be fast and accurate so that a single wild boar does not run away. The head or chest are the two preferred positions when shooting wild boar. This is because this has a higher mortality rate. This is how professional hunters deal high damage attacks that result in a successful hunt. In addition, conflicts between farmers and wild primates are a global conservation issue of increasing concern. Baboons are highly adaptable to diverse habitats, from jungles to urban areas. According to estimates from the US Environmental Protection Agency, there are currently more than 3 million invasive primates, causing more than $10 billion in damage to the economy. They roam on main roads, causing traffic congestion. This increases the likelihood for accidents to occur on the road. This not only affects people's mobility, but can also delay public projects. These monkeys can live on people's rooftops, damage infrastructure, and invade homes in search of food. They cause significant damage to the local economy, with annual losses estimated in Florida to reach billions of dollars, including repair costs. This has caused insecurity and anxiety in the community. According to the Florida Department of Health, there were 27 attacks. This has not only scared people, but also caused serious injuries. Farms recorded more than $1 million in losses, as baboons feeding destroyed community food security. Therefore, farmers are required to take hunting measures to limit the invasion of this population. The hunting can be done with the same caliber of rifle used in other hunts. A shot to the upper body or head can easily take them down. These creatures will run at the slightest movement or noise, so staying hidden is important. Trying to stalk one of them is nearly impossible, as they will run ahead of you, always out of reach. They usually follow the same route from their shelter to the feeding grounds. They usually go out in the morning and return in the late afternoon. Based on this principle, hunters can determine the direction and places where they will gather. The usual shooting distance when hunting them is 100 to 150 meters. Long-range guns allow hunters to detect them at a distance without a risk to themselves. This hunter made an accurate shot and took one down at a distance of 375 meters. Hunters often use compound bows with precision and powerful shooting ability. Each hunting trip can catch 4 or 5 creatures, depending on the hunter's skills and weather conditions. The wild turkey is an iconic American species, having sustained Native Americans for centuries. Through many periods of recession and recovery, the turkey population has returned in overwhelming numbers, and it has severely affected human life. Currently, it is estimated that there are nearly 6 million wild turkeys in North America. Residents believe that the injuries found on their pets on this part of the island were caused by a breed of wild turkey. As urban and suburban turkey populations increase, wild turkeys roam the streets. This not only affects the environment, but also creates many dangerous situations. The wandering behaviour of wild turkeys not only distracts drivers, causing delays, but can also cause unwanted collisions. Wild turkeys often become aggressive during breeding season, sometimes even attacking humans. For species that can fly like the wild turkeys, fences do not stop them. Of course, farmers cannot let this situation to continue. They choose to hunt them down. Net trapping is done, but it takes a lot of time. In the short term, hunting is the most effective control measure. Hunters can easily track the tracks left by wild turkeys on their land. These footprints will shorten the search process. In winter, when the snow falls, things are much easier for the hunters. However, the disturbance of wild turkeys is no less. Wild turkeys may be hunted with guns or appropriate archery equipment, but local rules and regulations may limit the use of these tools in urban and suburban environments. These fake turkeys act to lure the real wild turkeys. All that's left is to wait, aim accurately, and knock down the target with one shot. Silence is the key to a successful hunt. Hunters are so careful that they prepare clothes that are almost green in colour to camouflage themselves. When the target appears, the timing of the shot is carefully chosen to ensure success. Hunting plays an important role in managing wild turkey populations. This helps to minimize negative impacts on agriculture and maintain balance in the ecosystem.